Welcome back, everybody. James Cameron 101, Eddie Green coming at you here. We're celebrating Avatar. This is, when you see this, it will be the release date of Avatar Fire and Ash. So, of course, I wanted to put out a special Avatar themed episode. And for us, Dave and I, it's 11 days away. But like I said, when you see this, it will be officially out in theaters. So do yourself a favor after listening to this or before, whenever, check out Avatar Fire and Ash. And let's get those numbers up. Another $2 billion hit on Cameron's hands. So for this episode, it's a loose conversation dedicated to the entire Avatar franchise. Dave and I are going to talk back and forth. Dave is a big defender of this particular series, and that's basically why he's joining me tonight. So on the other side of this intro, we're going to get talking to our special guest, Dave McRAE.
Here is James Cameron.
You never really get an opportunity. You take an opportunity. If you're going to do something, you have to do it all the way, and you have to just put it before all other things. I don't know about you, but I'm having a really great time.
And here he is.
There I am. Here I am. Thank you for having me on, Eddie. I really appreciate it. I think this is the third or fourth time I've been on a couple of your shows. You've got a couple of shows. You've had a couple of shows.
Yep.
Is this the same podcast I was on like 4 or 5 years ago? Is this, or was that a different one?
Okay, so that was Eddie Green's 101.
Okay, that was okay.
So that was just sort of like a Joe Rogan kind of thing I was trying to do.
Gotcha.
But this is James Cameron 101, keeping the 101 brand thing going. And we've done a lot of just a lot of things together. You've been on the channel a few times, playing a few of our movie games.
I have. I've met, of course, your lovely fiance, wife, girlfriend. I don't know where you are in the chain right now.
Girlfriend right now. Girlfriend.
Okay. All right. I don't know where you are. I don't know. But shout out to her as well, because she is lovely. She's absolutely lovely.
Yes. So of course I wanted to get you on here. One, because your background is blue. We're talking blue.
And you got the blue on right now.
You're wearing blue, and at some point in a live show or something, I feel like Avatar gets brought up at some point.
It seems like it. Yeah, it seems like it. I'm a big fan of Avatar. I'll let you wheel us into where you want to go. But yes, I'm a big fan of Avatar, unapologetic fan of unabashed fan of Avatar. I'm not saying they're the greatest movies in the history of cinema. I'm just saying that I am a big fan of what James Cameron has done, is doing, and continues to do with that series.
Yeah. It's so we'll start with obviously the first film came out in 2009. You saw it in the theater, right?
I did. I saw it 3 times in the theater.
Cool.
So it was a big experience back then.
And did you go with, correct me if I'm wrong, did you go with your mom?
So the first time I went with my mother and my sister. That was the first time. We were blown away. It was something. I posted a photo yesterday on my social media. Maybe you saw it.
Yep.
A screen capture from the first Avatar and the shot only lasts like a couple of seconds, but it's a close-up shot of Neytiri. She's in the forest. I think it's maybe towards the third act or something. I can't quite remember, but she turns and she looks. She turns and she looks, right? And she's kind of behind this tree, and she kind of just turns and looks like this. And it's one of my favorite shots. Not the favorite, but certainly one of my favorite shots out of any movie in the history of cinema. And not because of the shot necessarily itself. It's a close-up shot of somebody turning, right? You know what I mean? We've seen some, I do like my close-ups. But that being said, I remember sitting in the theater, and the whole movie's amazing. The whole movie's incredible. But I remember that as being one of the shots. There's another shot as well, but that being one of the shots that I remember in the theater. I can remember in the theater watching the screen, thinking to myself, I consciously remember this, thinking to myself, I mean, all in like a matter of, 2 seconds, thinking, I can't believe this is not a real person. Now, it's motion capture, so it is a real person, but it's a digital body. This isn't a real person. This isn't somebody in a suit. This isn't prosthetics, because it looks like prosthetics. It looks, the attention to detail is so incredible. I had never seen, nobody had seen anything like it. It is literally, I was born in I wasn't born until 1979. So I missed Star Wars by 2 years. And even then, I probably would have been too young to appreciate it. But had I been born in like 1969 or 1970 and had a chance to watch Star Wars as a young kid in 77 on the big screen, I can only imagine that is exactly what it must have been like, because my parents told me this. My older siblings told me this. Nobody had seen anything like this. It was unbelievable what Star Wars had done. And I felt that was sort of, even though I was 30, well, and I wasn't a kid, I felt that watching Avatar, my jaw was on. I could not believe what I was seeing was not an actress in prosthetics. The attention to detail, the lines on the lips, the sweat on the upper lip, the way the light refracts off, and the beads and the dreads. Every dread was different. It felt like it had weight. When she moved, it would flutter like this. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It's like, this has got to be Zoe's old, like, she's got it. This has got to be this is totally prosthetic. No. I could not believe it. So Avatar, we can talk about the story in a minute, but that was my jaw was on the floor. So I went back 2 more times with my friend Yana, who lives out in Vancouver right now. Shout out to Yana. I was like, you gotta go see this thing. Yeah, okay, no, you gotta go see it. And so I dragged her along. She was blown away. Couldn't believe it. Now, she was an artist and a visual artist, and so she really appreciated it. And then I took another friend as well for a 3rd time. I was just taking people. I was just like, you gotta go. I think it was just me not wanting to go alone and needing people to come with me, because I really wanted to go see it, again. And it was just spectacular, unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it.
I, unfortunately, and I look back, because I was definitely old enough to have gone and seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't go see Avatar in theaters. At this point, I was not a giant James Cameron fan.
Okay.
So what, 09? So I would have been in my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
In 09. And I have no clue why. Because the hype, the hype would have been there. People would have been talking about it. I definitely was, because I was into performing arts, so I was definitely probably following it.
Yeah.
For some reason, maybe it was the runtime, kind of freaked me out.
3 hours, over 3 hours. Yeah.
So I always look back at that and I'm like, damn, Eddie, like, you should have just gone and seen it. You should have seen it.
Yeah.
Fast forward, what is it, 12, 13 years, something like that?
13.
And we get to Avatar: The Way of Water. And that I did see in theaters.
I should hope so. I'd be like, what are you doing? What's going on?
Now I'm curious, because I don't know if you might have said it on your channel, but you have seen The Way of Water.
Yep.
Do you prefer it over the original? Is it equal, or is the original better?
I think there's 2 ways to look at this. I don't think anything will compare to and I haven't seen Fire and Ash yet. Go see it if you haven't seen it, because it's out. You're releasing this on the day it releases, right?
The day it comes out. Yep.
So it comes out today. And so, as spectacular as Way of Water was, and it was again, the tech. I mean, it was even, and not that the first one's a slouch, but the technology had even improved even more over 13 years. It was incredible. I think I think the experience of watching that first Avatar, I don't think will be matched in terms of the Avatar series. Now we don't know if he's going to do. I haven't seen Fire and Ash yet. Maybe I will walk out of there going, "Holy crap!" I mean, who knows, right? But I think you hit it's just the leaps and bounds technologically that first Avatar in comparison to the rest, what was just so it's like I equate it to like, having it's say like, the iPhone 8. Okay, which is years ago, right? How long ago is that? I don't know. iPhone 7, iPhone 4. Let's go back to like 2010 or whatever the hell it was. And then Avatar, the first one, was like suddenly getting your hands on an iPhone 10 Max Pro or whatever it is. It's like, it is leaps and bounds beyond anything you've ever had or seen. It is light years. You were just like, what the? And you're just like, you can't believe what you're seeing.
All right.
To have that experience. Even though it had been 13 years between Avatar and The Way of Water, the technology has grown for sure. Watching The Way of Water in comparison to Avatar was not quite, for me anyway, the same gigantic leap. It was a leap, but it would be like upgrading from, I'm a Samsung guy. I have, the Galaxy phones. So it would be like upgrading from, the S21 to the S25. You know what I mean? You notice a difference. Oh, you notice it. You're like, oh yeah, no, this is a little bit faster. It's a little charges a little bit, faster, and I got a little storage and there's a little, oh yeah, it's really fast. But it's not like, it's nothing like that, right? You know what I mean? Because it's not like, but that's what that first Avatar was. That's what that first Star Wars was in 77. When The Empire Strikes Back came out, people were like settled into it. They're like, oh yeah, no, this is but you would sort of kind of, so I think from that perspective, was I blown away? Was my jaw on the floor in the same ways that it was with the first Avatar? No. But that doesn't mean that The Way of Water was not unbelievably spectacular from a technological perspective. Not at all. It was just like, holy geez, now this looks even better. You know what I mean? It's like, God, this is even, like, wow. So that's kind of how I would sort of describe it from that perspective. It was, I think the most impressive thing about it was just, of course, The Way of Water, all the water stuff. I was enamored with that technology. The technology, normally when people shoot, underwater sequences, they're not usually actually underwater. Well, I guess unless you're Tom Cruise, but, usually they shoot what's called dry for wet. Or wet for dry. I think it's dry for wet. So everybody's on ropes, you know what I mean? And they're doing this and they're suspended in the air, or their stunt doubles are, right? They're doing this, and it's all added in later. That's not what Cameron did, because the way that light refracts in the water, the way it pierces the water, the way water moves, the way it moves with us in the water, the way hair moves in the water is very different than actually compositing that in post and mapping that in and rotoscoping people and doing all this. And it's a time. No, he was like, no, we're going to do the whole thing. We're actually going to get people in the water, and people are like, we're going to mocap in the water. Like, how do you see the technology literally ceased to exist before he started doing this. So the amazing thing about Cameron is that he's not just a director and a filmmaker. He's an innovator. He's like Lucas, right? You know what I mean? In many ways, way back in the day, Lucas wasn't just a writer or a director. He created, I think he had a hand in Photoshop, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Anyways. But Industrial Light and Magic and sound design and Skywalker sound. And he advanced the film industry technologically. That's what Cameron has done. He was the first solo diver to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, if I'm not mistaken. This guy's got balls of steel, and he's Canadian. But anyway, he's not too far away from where I am or live, and so but he's incredible, and so just seeing the technology and the way in the water and them swimming and how the water moves, and It was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. It was just, he's done it again. Was it like, well, no, because he's working with the same type of technology. It's just being improved upon. So, whereas in 2009, we had never seen anything like it. So it was just like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. This is incredible. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I kind of feel about it. And the story I enjoyed. I mean, it's like, yeah, this is, we can talk about all that and all that nonsense from people, but I liked it. I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. Have you been following a lot of Fire and Ash stuff, or are you kind of keeping away from?
I've watched some of the interviews. They just, unless it's a YouTube channel that's like bullshit, some fan made thing, I don't know. But I think I just saw that they released like a 6-minute clip or something, like the opening of the Fire people or something like that. Did they just do that? They released like the introduction of the Fire. I don't know. I saw it, and it looked like it was 20th Century Studios. Or Fox or whatever, and then I saw it was like 6 minutes. I was like, I don't want to watch that. It was 30 seconds, fine, right? 30 seconds, yeah, I'll watch a 30-second clip. A minute, maybe I'm not watching 6 minutes. I want to. So I didn't bother to click on it. I've seen some of the interviews, obviously the trailers. I did watch some of the out of theater first reactions from some people, which had my eyes rolling a little bit. But I'm kind of on the peripheral just a little bit.
Okay. Because they released on Disney Plus a new documentary. It was called Fire and Water, the making of the Avatar films.
I did not know that. Okay.
And obviously they talk a little bit about Fire and Ash. And I believe it's not a direct quote, but I think it's Cameron who says you can expect more of the same in terms of not story, but in terms of what they were able to accomplish in the Way of Water. So to your point, going from, the barbaric phone, and then you get the iPhone, whatever, with Avatar 1, go to Avatar 2. Now it's a slight upgrade. I think it's going to be even a slighter upgrade just in terms of technology. I don't think we're going to walk out of there and be totally blown away the way even we might have been with the Way of Water. It's just, it's going to be a lot of the same technology that was used. They didn't really make leaps and bounds with this one.
No, and why would they need to? I mean, they shot it at the same time they're shooting the Way of Water as well. Yep. So the technology's the same. They're utilizing the same technology, and the technology to shoot Fire and Ash it didn't require a technological upgrade. You know what I mean? One of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why it took 13 years to get Way of Water out is because it needed a technological upgrade in order to even do the movie in the first place. Because James Cameron was like, no, we're actually going to hold our breath for 7 minutes and we're going to get into the water. And that's how it's like, oh, well, this isn't coming out anytime soon. And so how are we going to do that? I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We got to go make it. It's like, okay, well, this is so that makes sense. That makes sense. But really, I mean, how much further can you go? I mean, it's still so spectacular. It's like, it might just be incremental. Oh darn. You know what I mean? Oh shucks. So yeah, it's going to look and feel absolutely spectacular.
When you think of Avatar, the Way of Water, and I assume you're also the way you are, because I know when you come to Star Wars, it's the films and you're done. You don't bother with the comics and the spin-offs and the animated things. It's not to the degree of Star Wars, but Avatar has its fair share of that stuff. There's comics.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's expanded. There's a video game that's pretty popular and
cool.
But obviously you are just
I know about
2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the moment, I know about the ride, Disney's Animal Kingdom. I know about that.
Yep.
Obviously I haven't been on it. I haven't been to Florida in years. But I certainly would love to check that out. I hear it's great. I think the thing with me when it comes to Star Wars and the expanded and whatever you want to call it is I never got into it when I was younger. And so getting into it as an adult, going back and getting into it feels just there's so much of it now. There's so much of it that I just don't. I'm like, oh God, it's just I just can't. Like, I don't even want to. Well, this part. It's like I don't even know what to do. And then people are bitching and moaning, arguing and fighting over. I'm just like, I can't take this. I'm nearly 47. I can't take this. And so with Avatar, though, relative to Star Wars, it's relatively still new. And so if somebody like if they made an animated show, I'd be like, oh, I'll check that out because I'm getting into it later. I'm older, I'm wiser. It's not, you said, okay, there's a game, there's some comics, there's, it's expanded a bit. Oh, that's cool, but it's not so far ahead, and so there's where it feels exhausting to catch up. Do you know what I mean? Where there's just so much I have to know and learn about this and that and this and that and this person. Star Wars is ridiculous now. I mean, it's just insane. And I just can't be bothered. I'm just like, nah, it's the movies to me, and that's it. So at the moment, Avatar is just the movies to me. But I'm open if he decides to expand it into like an animated show or something. I mean, that might be cool.
Yeah, there was a good interview with him recently where someone asked him about that, the franchise. They used the word franchise, and he said, I don't like the word franchise. Let's call this a saga.
Right. Yeah. Franchise sounds too, franchise makes it seem like Walmart's going to get a hold of it and exploit it. I guarantee it's a weird way of saying it, but it's sort of the poor man's way of saying what he's saying, which is, I don't like the word franchise. And what he means by that, I don't want to speak for him, but what he likely means by that is just, it can be exploited. It can be, oh yeah, it's a franchise. We can have teacups and keychains and Bed Bath and Beyond can release their little soaps and shampoo bottles. God, I don't want, you know what I mean? Let's just call it a saga, because the saga sticks with what? Story. It sticks with story. And when you hear saga, you immediately think, story, characters, worlds. You know what I mean? You hear franchise, you hear, and so, which is not that he's not against making money. I mean, the guy obviously is, makes a lot of money with these movies. But yeah, I think I don't want to speak for James Cameron, but I think that's probably why he hates not that he doesn't want to make money. We all want to make money, but I think he's like, franchise. It feels, I think to him, because he created Avatar, it feels just not up to the standard of what Avatar is in his mind. No, it's a saga with characters and worlds, and it's a character-driven story. With all this going, it's not McDonald's Happy Meal stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know if they've had that. I don't know, but
Oh, they've had everything you just said.
Oh, well, there you go.
Except for maybe the Bed Bath and Beyond stuff. I don't know that.
Yeah, maybe not.
Especially because it went under. Bed Bath and Beyond isn't even a thing anymore.
That's true. I wouldn't mind having an Avatar hoodie. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, let's hypothetically, again, this conversation we're having is out day one for Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say this film is going to make a crap ton of money. I think it's safe to say the track record shows.
Yeah, I think it's a high probability that it will make a lot of money. Yeah, how much money we don't know, but a lot. Yeah.
And I'm interested because I don't know where the threshold is that it has to make, because there's talks of, and I don't know if you've seen them or not, but Cameron has said if this film doesn't work or if it doesn't make a lot of money, then I'm putting Avatar to bed.
I have seen that.
So I'm really curious what the threshold is. Does it have to make the 2 billion that the other two have made? Or can it make $1 billion and that's safe and it makes sense? This is the third film. Of course, there's going to be sort of a diminishing return, but not that much.
Yeah.
What's your input in there?
Yeah, I think it depends on what the budget was specifically for. I mean, it's a bit murky because both these movies were shot at the same time. So what specifically was the budget for Way of Water and what specifically was the budget for Fire and Ash is a bit murky. You could say maybe it was 600 million for both of them. Maybe it was 800 million for both of them. 400 million for one, 400 million for the other, which wouldn't be, for Avatar, that wouldn't be ridiculous. It's ridiculous, for anything else. I suspect that each movie probably cost anywhere between 350 million, maybe something in there. I don't think that's a stretch. Maybe 250 to 300 million. It probably has to make just and because of marketing and it probably has to make, somewhere of upper 800 something to, probably to begin to break even. 800 million, perhaps. I don't know. If it costs 300 million to make, they spend 200 million to market it. Who knows? It's hard to say without knowing exactly how much the movie cost. But I will say that, the first Avatar made 2.7 billion. Now it's up to 2.9 billion because of the re-releases. But in 2009, when it ended its theatrical run, it was about 2.7 something billion. I remember the number 2.7. And it was unbelievable. And then with re-releases, it's jumped up to 2.9. Way of Water made 2.3 billion. So you could say, well, that's like a $600 million difference. Well, no, it's actually a $400 million difference because the original theatrical run was 2.7. So the sequel made 2.3. It's a $400 million difference. So I think, and it was a different world, of course, right? Streaming and all this kind of stuff. People are not going. And still to make 2.3 billion is ridiculous. And Avatar's, people have to understand that Avatar's, its main audience is international. It's not domestic. It does well domestically. The original made over 700 million. Way of Water made over 600 million. That by any metric for a domestic film. I mean, Superman made 600 million total. And so Avatar made, The Way of Water made 600 million just domestically. But that goes to show you that it makes over $1 billion. The first Avatar, I believe, made over $2 billion just internationally, which is, or 1.9 or something. It's insane. And so The Way of Water was a similar trajectory, although lower. It was similar. It made something like $1.5 billion, $6 billion, something like that. 7 billion. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it was like 1.6 or 1.7 billion internationally. So let's say, okay, diminishing returns. Let's say that we got 700 something million for the first one. We've got 600 million for the second one, domestic. Let's say this one makes 500 million domestic. Okay, we've got we got 2 billion something for the first one. We got 1.67 for let's say this one makes, I don't know, 1.4 billion. You tack on 500 million. It's likely still going to make 1.9 or $2 billion at the worldwide box office. The chances of this movie making, the first one making 2.7, 2.9 with, re-releases, the second making 2.3, and the third making 350 million. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to make over $1 billion at the very least. That's a shoo-in. It's a guarantee. It will probably make 1.5 at the very least. And then how close is it going to get to 2 again? And, it's a bit different, but this thing is really popular internationally. And so I think it probably has to make, they might even still be making money to, for The Way of Water. So, but I think it's safe to say that this is likely, I think it's likely going to be another $2 billion movie or very close, high billions, 1.8, 1.9, something like that. I would be very surprised if it finished off at like 1.1, but then there would have to be like that much of a drop off. There would have to be a very significant reason for that. And it wouldn't be because people just don't care about Avatar anymore. It would be just a sign of the cultural shift in how people consume films. And so, but we'll see. I think it's going to be high billions at the very least.
So then in that case, it's safe to say 4 and 5 are going to eventually happen.
Not necessarily. And I don't think it's because they wouldn't now be able to afford it. And people have to remember too that when a movie makes, money at the box, that's the gross, that's not the net. I mean, there's overhead, there's theater fees, there's debt, there's studio, there's, so when a movie makes like 500, like the Halloween David Gordon Green trilogy made $500 million at the worldwide, box office. Well, but that's gross, right? You know what I mean? So it's not like they all walked away with it. And so people have to remember that there's a lot of, that's gross. That's not net. But I don't think so. I don't think it's a shoe-in. And the reason why is because James Cameron is older. He's been doing this a long time. I think he's tired. He looks tired. He looks like he's been doing this a long time. And not that he doesn't want to, but I think he did say, as I'm sure you saw, he said that even if I never, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, even if I never make another Avatar again, Avatar Fire and Ash ends in a way where I don't need to. The story doesn't need to go on. It could serve as a trilogy. I do wrap up the loose threads, the story beats, the storylines, the character arcs. When Fire and Ash ends, it is a complete story. 1, 2, and 3 is a complete story. He said, again, I'm paraphrasing, there's a few little things I've left open a little bit, which are the hooks if I want to go back and do 4 and 5. But he said, you're not going to, like, Fire and Ash is not going to end where it's like, no, it's going to feel like a complete story. And that's designed on purpose, not just because I don't think James Cameron is a little, yes, I think it's because he's worried that maybe it might not make as much, sure. But also because, he's been doing this for 20 years. And I think maybe he's not necessarily that he wants to go on and make the next Terminator. I don't think that. I think he just might want to take a break, you know what I mean? And relax for a bit, maybe produce, help other filmmakers, maybe jump back into Alita Battle Angel, which I love that movie. I want a sequel to that. Or he hands off the directing reins to somebody else. Maybe Rodriguez comes in and does Avatar 4. Maybe somebody else comes in and does Avatar 5. And James Cameron takes the George Lucas producer role and comes on as a consultant or a producer, and he's there, and he's going to be very hands-on anyway because it's his baby. And so, but maybe he does that. But so I don't think it's a shoe-in, a lock that all of a sudden, okay, hey, it's made 2.3 billion again. It's great. Hey, Sam, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, so we're getting maybe, but I don't know. I mean, even Sam Worthington said, I've always thought it was, in my mind that, this was the last one. Remember that we said that? There was some article he said where, in my mind, I've always kind of seen this as, the last one. He's talking about it from a story perspective and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's a shoe-in. I would love to see it because I don't know, but I think he wants to lead it back to Earth. And I wouldn't be surprised if it begins to move, because the humans are bad right now. But I think the final Avatar film, if it was part 5, I think would all be about the Na'vi coming to Earth and maybe a war happening on Earth, but then this alien race teaching humans how to be better, how to live, how to take care of their, like that kind of thing. And it could be really amazing. It could be, emotional and moving and all this kind of stuff, and end on a really high note. I saw an interview that Zoe Saldana, that's how you say her last name, right? I think, that she did. Somebody asked her, I forget who it was now, asked her, what would Natiri's avatar look like on Earth? As just a hypothetical question. I thought that's amazing. That's actually, could you imagine Natiri coming to Earth and she has to, and then Zoe can play herself and that's her avatar? Wouldn't that be really cool? Like that would be, so she becomes a human avatar. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I have no evidence that this is what he's going to do, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was sort of Cameron's idea, to bring it back to Earth and to teach humans how to be better, with their planet and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I love your idea that it's not a shoe-in because, and this is where I was going with my question.
Yeah.
If and you being a filmmaker yourself, wouldn't you want, like, I don't even know what it's called, 5 films, because I know 4 is a quadrilogy. What is 5 called?
I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea.
So right there, it's messy. And it just seems messy. Like a trilogy is beautiful.
Yep.
The Avatar trilogy is beautiful. Even Terminator 1 and 2, what is that? Duology? It's called
a duology. I don't know.
Something like that. But even that 1 and 2, 5 just seems too messy, too much. it's not even two trilogies at that point.
Yeah.
It's a trilogy and two other films.
Yeah, it does when you look at it from a fan perspective and from sort of that, cosmetic perspective. When you look at it from a cosmetic perspective and looking at it on a shelf or, having all that, oh, it's a nice 3 movies, 3. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, is there more story to tell? I mean,
Yeah.
is the Avatar saga really this epic? It could be. I mean, it could be. I mean, it could really, is there more story to tell? And I don't know if there is. I mean, we've heard out of theater reaction saying that it's, we see some of the same beats again in this new film, which makes sense to me in a way, because Avatar, The Way of Water and Fire and Ash, is essentially one movie divided into 2 parts. It's not a completely separate story set like 3 or 4 years later. It is literally, I hear it takes place like, like days after Way of Water. So some of the reasons why it feels a little bit like Way of the Water is because, well, it literally sort of kind of is. You're just watching, they had to stop at some point. You know what I mean? But you know what? If he's got more to tell, and if it's strong, if it's really strong, that's the thing. It might be a story that's like, well, that's kind of cool, but is it needed? I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of cool, but would he be like straining at the computer and figuring all this out? And I don't even think I think he's got treatments for 4 and 5. I don't know if he's got a script. I mean, listen, if 4 and 5 are going to get made, it ain't going to be 3 years from now. You know what I mean? I mean, you're probably looking at another 7 to 10 years before you even see 4. And so I think there is not a high probability that you'll never see 4, that this will be it. If you do see 4, Cameron won't be directing it.
Yeah, he has been, if 4 and 5 don't happen, he would love to see it continued on in a novel form, he said. So
that's cool. I wouldn't mind seeing it like an animated feature film. Yeah, like a full-on animated feature film. I think that would be kind of cool. Like totally top of the line animation, not like, no disrespect to anime fans out there. I'm not really a big fan of anime. The animation style, I mean. But like full on, like, yeah, like I'd be down for that.
The fact that he just recently purchased the book rights to Ghosts of Hiroshima and wants to adapt that into a film.
He's got, and he keeps talking about the sequel to, Alita Battle Angel, right?
Yep.
So,
and he's supposedly writing a new Terminator film. Supposedly,
let it go, James. Let it go. I love James Cameron. He's one of my favorites, but I'm just like, look.
How did you feel about Dark Fate?
I liked it. I mean, I've liked all the Terminator movies, barring Salvation. I think I wasn't too crazy on that, but I've never had an issue really with any of them. They're all diminishing returns. Like they're all not like the first or the second one. They're all just serviceable. They're not terrible movies. They're serviceable. You got a good time sitting there watching a bag of popcorn. Arnold, it's fun. Whatever.
I do recommend this right over here. It's kind of cut off, but that's Terminator Zero. It's the anime that came out on Netflix last year.
Speaking of anime.
Yeah.
No, but listen, although I'm not a big fan of the animation style of anime is huge. Huge business and huge in the voiceover world too. Yeah,
no, look, I mean, this is this is all hypothetical. It's who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I do love to speculate. I love to think about, and I never even thought about the storyline of, I think I did think about it coming to Earth, but I never thought about what Neytiri would look like as a human, and would she look 100% like Zoe Saldana?
And would her and the kids stay on Earth?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that would be. I mean, I'm not saying she would. I probably not. Although I don't know. I mean, because she probably wouldn't want to leave her unless her planet was being destroyed, like it was going to blow up, like the Death Star blew up Alteron or something. You know what I mean? Like unless it was literally going to explode. And she needs a place to go. Maybe. I mean, maybe that might happen. I don't know. And they go to Earth, but I don't know. It's look. I love the Avatar films. They get criticized because of their classical stories. And I understand. I think what perplexes me is those that seem to think that that is a drawback of the. I think what happened is Avatar came out. It didn't connect with everybody because it's not cool for some people. Blue, big, 12 feet, and it's kind of it was fun to look at, that kind of thing. And then it became the highest grossing movie of all time. And whether consciously or not, there is a certain section of the average movie fan, whether they realize this or not, that equates box office results with quality. Now, if you think about it, most fans are smart, and when they think about it, they can deduce it down to, yeah, no, that doesn't mean that necessarily at all, right? I mean, most people would be able to do that. But because of the way Hollywood markets films, and because there's such an emphasis on box office returns, that to the average movie fan, they can get caught up in it's like points, on a sports team or something, right? If the your favorite football team or hockey team or baseball team or basketball team is doing really well in the standings, and look, they have all these, look at the high number they have, the high wins, the high points, the high this, the high that. That means they are a very good team. They are amazing. They're great. They're at the top of the league. They're going to make the playoffs. They might win the championship. In box office with movies, it's art, it's subjective. And so the measuring stick then, becomes the only way you can measure a film's, quality a little bit could be from box office, because, maybe word of mouth, but it's not a black and white thing. All box office is, it means that a lot of people went to see it. It doesn't mean a lot of people loved Avatar. It doesn't mean that. It just means a lot of people went to see it. But because the average movie fan gets caught up in the spectacle of box office and numbers, and look how much Avatar is making, especially back in 2009, so many people were like, that is the highest grossing movie of all time, because they're equating that it's the best movie of all time. And that's not what that means. And so I think people got their knickers in a twist. So many fans got upset, and movie fans were like, how is that the highest grossing movie of all time? That's the highest grossing movie of all time. I've seen so many better movies than that. But it's not about better. It's not about better. Right. And that's where they sort of kind of, and I'm not saying Avatar is bad. I love Avatar. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a great movie. But so many fans who didn't like it, because art is subjective, they're kind of go, that, you know what I mean? They couldn't glom on. It's Ferngully in space. It's Dances with Wolves. I'm like, well, Dances with Wolves is badass, man. If somebody's like, dude, Dances with Wolves, but in space, I'd be like, I'm in. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I think this is important to say. People often say, you know what? I mean, it has no pop culture footprint. And it's like, yeah, but pop culture footprint, are two different, you can have a pop culture footprint through technology, through advancement as well, not just through memes and GIFs and, catchphrases. It is, they say, yeah, but I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theater. Yeah, but that's because it wasn't designed for your 40-inch television. It was designed as an event to be seen on the big screen. That's what it was designed for. And so, and because these movies make $2 billion or nearly $3 billion, Cameron doesn't give a frog's fat ass whether you watch it at home or not. He hopes you do. He would love that you do. He'd love you to pick up the physical media, sure. But it's made so much money, so much more money than most movies ever make, that it's not like he's at a loss. You know what I mean? And because it was designed to be an event, a human story we can all relate to. And now we're like, oh, this is the story? Cool. Oh, I totally get that. Oh yeah, Dances with, that classical story that's been told over years and years and years and years. Yes, in this environment, in this world, oh, I'm in. And so many people sort of miss that. I think they think back to Aliens Cameron, Terminator Cameron. They think he just should, they want more of that Cameron, more mature, more gritty, more manly, more action-packed, more adult, more, I don't want all this blue Na'vi environmental stuff. Ugh. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, dude, it's amazing, man. Like, what a world to visit. Anyways, I'll shut up now.
No. And I do also want to point people toward your video you just released. It's about 5-6 minutes long.
I did, yeah. Basically, you just heard it, but yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, no, it's a great video. There's clips and everything, and you're narrating, and that's essentially your new direction for the channel, I've noticed.
Some of it, yeah. I mean, I will be on camera as well. It's going to be a mixture. It's going to be a mixture. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, no, it's Yeah, no, it's I honestly though, I do miss the practical filmmaking. I think
Yeah.
that part of Hollywood and just filmmaking in general is slowly but surely being pushed out, out of the way. We're going toward more what this is, and that's fine. And it's awesome that Cameron is not only going along with the times, but literally progressing it as he's going
Right.
along.
Right.
But yeah, when you look at stuff like The Abyss and Titanic and True Lies, I mean, good Lord, it's just like
Amazing.
all practical. It's all
Amazing.
practical, and
Yeah.
there's a little CGI here and there to touch things up. And
Yeah. No, it's incredible. And yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like, listen, it's subjective. If it's not for you, you don't like it. That's fine. I just wish people would go beyond Fern Gully, Pocahontas, and Dances with Wolves. And most people are just recycling, but because it is true. I mean, it's not that they're incorrect on that, but they say it like it's a negative, where actually it's to its advantage.
now I do want to kind of segue into this because
Sure.
I think we're gonna get some good laughs out of this.
Okay.
This is typically these are entire episodes in and of themselves what we're going to do here, but I just wanted to do a mini version of it.
Sure.
It's called Bad Reviews. Basically, what I do is I invite somebody from the film themselves, whether they are an actor, a cast and crew, whatever.
Yep.
Somebody that worked on the film. I like to get them on, and I pull up bad reviews that I have scoured the internet for, and we read them, and then we provide our thoughts and opinions. And the funny part is, because mostly Cameron's films are universally acclaimed, except for a small part of the population.
Yes.
Just don't like his movies for whatever reason. So I think though Avatar is, when compared, like if you were going to compare bad reviews of Terminator 2 to bad reviews of Avatar, I think Avatar outweighs.
Avatar would win easily, hands down.
Easily, hands down.
Yeah.
So, but I have 2 bad reviews for the first film and 2 bad reviews for the second film ready to go.
All right.
And so we'll take turns.
Sure.
They'll pop up on the screen and read them. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first. I just finished yapping like a freight train there, so you can go first.
All right, sweet. So I will make us invisible.
All right.
And here we go. So this is a bad review from Letterboxd. Do you know what Letterboxd is?
I do. I don't see anything on the screen though. On
Not
my
yet.
end.
Not yet.
Okay.
So these are from Letterboxd.
Okay.
So here we go.
There we go. And this is the first Avatar.
This is the first Avatar.
Okay.
Watched by Ross Stan, November 30th, 2025. Very recent.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it 1 star out of 5. It's a 5-star rating system.
Yes.
I am fully convinced that this multi-billion-dollar franchise is completely propped up by people wanting to fuck the blue guys.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think anyone remembers what happens in this movie. It just released some sort of psychic poison into the general consciousness that resulted in the creation of the hyper-realistic Avatar baby dolls. Possibly also a big one for the furries. Are the blue guys furries or just regular guys? Lots to think about.
Okay. Well, thank you, Raw Stan. Appreciate that. Just tell us how you really feel, please.
I mean, obviously, you remember what happens in the movie.
I do. Yeah, of course.
But this guy claims he doesn't think a lot of people remember what happened in the movie.
Yeah. Well, this is not a review. This is this is by definition of a movie review. This is not a review. This is an opinion, and he's entitled to have his opinion. But this is not a movie review. He's not reviewing the movie. He's creating. I mean, there's a couple of logical fallacies in there. He's it's a typical. And I say this with all due respect, it is a typical everyday movie fan that, is just writing, is shooting from the hip, from an emotional place, rather than, he's not talking about the story. He's not, saying something shit and fucking shit, it's crap. It's because all these furries and baby. It's not. This isn't a movie review of the movie. this is just a diatribe of somebody who's angry that the movie exists, apparently. I mean, there's no evidence to suggest that he watched the movie. Why is this review coming? He likely saw the movie years ago and just jumped onto Letterboxd. I doubt he just watched the movie, because there's nothing in this review that tells me he's recently watched the movie. This is a review of that could be pertaining to any of the Avatar movies. And so there's nothing in there that I don't know why is this on the first Avatar. There's nothing in here telling me he watched the first movie. So, when the movie, began, when Sully comes to, Pandora and he's in the wheelchair, and there's nothing, like, I don't know what he's, this is not a movie review. I'm sorry, buddy, but this isn't a movie review. This is just, you being angry at clouds, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, here comes another non-review for you.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
And take it away.
All right. A half a star by Ellie from the 3rd of June, 2012. Okay, so this definitely, because of the date, we know that this would have been somebody who watched the film. Admittedly, I haven't seen this all the way through. Well, okay. If you haven't seen the movie all the way through, Ellie, then this is where we can stop, because there's no... I don't, but I will continue nonetheless. I'd been tempted to walk out of films in the past at the cinema, but was held back for various reasons. This was the first that I couldn't think of a single reason to stay. I knew there were about 45 minutes left to go. And honestly, envisioned hang on, what does that say?
I don't know what that word is. Envisaged?
I don't know. Not really sure here. Envisioned the rest of the plot anyway, from talking to friends that didn't, envisioned the rest of the plot anyway, just plot in quotes, meaning that there is no plot. From talking to friends, actually there is a plot. From talking to, so that literally doesn't make any sense. From talking to friends that did sit through it, it looks like I didn't miss anything at all. A lot has been said before about the ridiculous dialogue and tedious familiar story that could have been written by any 10-year-old of average intelligence, but I actually thought the visuals were ugly and cartoonish as well. The 3D gave me a headache, and the CGI characters still haven't got any convincing since Gravity. Elvin and the Chipmunks. The Squeakquel, I remember that. That's great. Was made with more attention to detail and expression. Yes, I'm deadly serious. No, you're not. Fuck you, James Cameron. I know I only paid, she's overseas. I only paid £1.50, I believe that is, to see this, but I want my money back. Well, if you only paid £1.50, how is that possible? It would have, weird. This is more of a review, but it's not a review either. It's not a movie review. It's just an opinion. That's what most movie reviews look. Are movie reviews opinions? Yes, all movie reviews are opinions, but not all opinions are movie reviews. And so, because there's a difference between an opinion and an informed opinion. And that's what made the greats like Roger Ebert and Siskel, Gene Siskel, I'm dating myself, but that's what made them so great, is because they weren't just firing off opinions. They were informed opinions. They understand the business. They understand movies. Not that you need to have made a movie or understand to have an opinion. No. But it becomes very apparent when you offer an opinion that, if it's shallow like this, there's things on here that don't, that it's difficult to take someone seriously when it is expressed in this kind of way. I hope Ellie's doing well. Wherever she is.
So here we go. I'll take the reins on this one.
All right.
Watched by Cornholio, 1192.
Well, right there. You should take it seriously.
December 9th, 2022. So this was probably right around the time the film came out. Half a star. He didn't even give it a full star. Had the unfortunate opportunity to see an advanced screening of this pile of shit film. Trust me, avoid this drag of a movie at all costs. It is not worth 3 hours and 10 minutes of your life to see CGI blue aliens swim around and ride stingrays in the sky. Terrible, awful, garbage film. James Cameron should be banned from making movies forever. That got 25 likes.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Banned from making films forever.
Yep. I mean, that's just it. You should be banned completely. This is not a review. It's not a review. None of these are reviews. This is not, again, it's letterboxed. I get it. I mean, it's not like I'm opening up Variety and reading this. You know what I mean? If you want a movie review, look at the difference between the trades and letterboxed. and then, you know, and it's not like the trades will necessarily be kind to Avatar, but you look at how it's written, what they focus on. You know, you may not agree with it. I may read a Variety review of Fire and Ash and go, I don't agree with that. But how it's written and how it's structured is very different. You can tell they know what they you know, this is just, you know, it's hyperbolic. It's the worst movie ever. You know, it's just like, shut up and sit down. You know, I mean, I can't take this seriously. I mean, you should ban forever. The unfortunate event seen this, bro. It's like fucking awful, man. And it's just like, yeah, and that's not me saying, oh, come on, you don't really feel that way. No, I believe that they really feel this way. But it's just, you know, I mean, I guess I can't take you seriously. I mean, you want me to, I don't care about that. I really, if I made, you know, if somebody laid, and some people have, you know, I mean, on the 2 Black Christmas films I've done, I've had people go, it's the worst piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. It's like the most piece of crap. It's awful. McRAE's a piece of crap. It's awful. You think I care about that? Like, it's so to the extreme. You know what I mean? It's so to the extreme. I'm just like, whatever. You know, like, I can't take you seriously. Like, I just can't, like, oh, you little piece of crap. You think it's amazing, but it's not really amazing. I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't even know how to respond. I don't get. So it's the same with this. It's just, it's so hyperbolic, over the top. You know, again, that's not me saying that. I'm saying, no, you don't feel that. No, you feel how you feel. But I even don't. It's different, but it's difficult for me to even believe that you feel that way, because it's so extreme. You may not like the movie, but it's the worst movie ever. James Cameron should be banned from making movies ever. It's like, what are you, 7? I mean, this doesn't sound, maybe they are. I don't know. But this isn't a review. This is, you know.
These aren't, and I agree with you. These aren't, like, to even call this segment bad reviews is almost kind of.
Well, no, you have to call it that, because I get it. I mean, it's good for the, you know, yeah, no, it makes sense, but yeah.
But what's really unfortunate is these reviews have no, obviously they don't impact anything at all, except for what they do impact. If they rate it like how these people have been rating it with the stars, it affects the rating, the overall rating of the film.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is what, you know, so hearing your points about how these are not, like, actually probably like 16-year-olds that are angry typing on their keyboards, it affects the general score that people go to, you know, they'll type in Avatar and they'll see it has a 3.2 or something, and they'll go, that's not high enough for me.
Yeah.
And they,
sorry, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, and they don't check out the film.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's possible. And that's because that's a generational thing. Right. Yeah. So that's, and I'm admittedly, I'm speaking in a bit of a broad stroke here. Obviously, I'm speaking generally. Generally speaking, that's a generational thing. I mean, I would never let a rating sway me from seeing a movie I really wanted to see. And I think everybody should see, if you want to see a movie, like, you genuinely want to see that movie, even if IMDb has it at 4.6, Rotten Tomatoes has it at 32%, Letterboxd has it at 2.8. You really want to see the movie. Your best friend says, I thought it was terrible, but you really want to see the movie. Go see the movie. And if you really love it, if you really, really love it, then great. Then walk away going, well, nobody else liked it, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. It's got my fucking tangent.
No, I love it. I love it. I knew, like, I mean, I'd be lying if I wasn't trying to poke the bear a little bit.
Oh, I know. I know. I've been doing this long enough to know what you're doing. I love it.
But you're so good at being poked.
It's true. It's true. I am. Get your mind out of the gutter, ladies and gentlemen. It is true. It is true.
All right. So we have one final opinion. Bad opinion. So here we go. So this is what we're gonna segue out with.
All right. Half a star by Slink321, 12th of August, 2025. Okay, I'm just gonna. This must. Okay, so this is Dear James Cameron. Yes, because he scours Letterboxd. This was not a good movie. Okay, all right. Well, we're off to a good start. This was not a good movie. Okay, all right. If you want to learn how to make a good movie, okay, I suggest you watch War of the Worlds 2025 instead. Okay, this I can't take this. Let me say this. This is, and I don't know if you held this off to the end on purpose. Of course, you had no idea where I was going to go with my rants, but this just proves my point. So now, does this individual really think that War of the Worlds 2025 with Ice Cube is a great movie? Okay. Does he really think it? And does he really think it's better than Way of Water? Well, I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't, because I don't know. Maybe he really does. Maybe he really does. Right? However, I think the probability is very low that he does, because this movie was not only panned by everybody, it became meme worthy. In the film community, everybody was saying how garbage it wasn't very good, and all that kind of stuff. So it sounds like this person is using this in an ironic way to say, even this shit movie is better than your shit movie. I don't believe him at all. I don't believe him at all. I think it doesn't tell me anything about The Way of Water, nothing. This is not a movie review. This is somebody who, I believe, this opinion is exactly the problem that I was talking about. This is nothing more than spite. This is somebody who probably hasn't seen The Way of Water, or maybe did when it came out, I don't know, but just jumped on to write this satirical thing, gave it half a star to simply affect the downvote.
Yeah, well, first of all, it doesn't sound like you've seen More of the Worlds 2025. Don't.
I haven't.
Yeah, don't.
But I'm very aware of the well, I haven't, but I'm still very aware of the backlash.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even say don't see it. To your point.
Maybe I love it.
See it. Yeah. No.
Maybe I'd love it.
It's certainly an experience.
I bet.
But yeah, no, I don't know. It's certainly something. And it's going to continue with Fire and Ash, undoubtedly.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's going to be another great spectacle. It releases today, folks. If you are a big Avatar fan, even if you're not, you just want to go see a big movie on the big screen, and go check it out. But just Pocahontas in space. Well, why when Fern Gully came out, why weren't people comparing Fern Gully to Dances with Wolves? When Pocahontas came out, why weren't people going, well, it's just Fern Gully? I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to think, like, that's not a bad thing, folks. It's not a bad thing. I mean, especially to the horror community, which is a big thing. That, listen, you will sit your ass down and watch the same movie over and over again with the same story you've seen 900 million times. Don't tell me it's just the same story. So is every slasher movie. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus, how many times? I mean, just stop that nonsense. Story. Oh, stop it. Stop it. It's a great, listen, I love the Avatar films. I'm excited for it. Fire and Ash releases today. I'm going to go to theater. Maybe I'm going out right now to go see it. I'm going to check it out.
To tie into Halloween and John Carpenter and everything, Cameron has even been quoted as saying that Halloween was a big inspiration for the Terminator. And you look at Halloween, you look at the Terminator.
Yep. Yeah, well, there's some people that say that Terminator is a horror movie or a slasher movie. Excuse me. I don't go that far. I think labels and genres are important, and I think to just call the Terminator a slasher movie, I don't think is correct. I don't think it's fair.
That's Dave, everybody. How are you seeing Fire and Ash, by the way? Are you seeing it like an IMAX?
Or? Oh yeah, IMAX 3D for sure.
Funny that you say D-Box. That's how we'll be seeing it.
Okay. Hey,
I actually, maybe in the entire history of my movie-going experience, I think I've only done that once previously, and it was for The Fate of the Furious.
Oh, okay.
Which that was a pretty cool experience. I had never done that before. I didn't know what to expect, and every time a like a car turn, your seat
Yeah.
turned, and
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time someone fired a gun, your seat shook. So I'm curious what this is going to be like, but I don't know how well it's going to work.
It's going to
with
burn your
three-
ass. Fire and ass. You're going to get burns on your ass. There's going to be like heat on the back of your neck. I think for me, Eddie, look, I think it's cool. Like, I think the technology is cool, but for me, I think I appreciate those things going to like Disney World or Universal
Right.
when you're in something on the hydraulics and you're moving to the screen and all that. Cause you know that going in, like, that's the whole point. At a movie for me, like, I can understand, no disrespect, I can understand if you're like a kid and you're, really love that kind of thing. But like, if you're really young, I don't mean you being a kid, you're not a kid. I just mean if you're like 12 or 13 and you really love that kind of thing, I could totally get it. Or the kid at heart, maybe you and, your girl, the kid at heart. I get it. I totally get it. I think for me though, I accidentally purchased the D box. I forget what the movie was. And I'm sitting there and I didn't realize it was the seat
Oh,
I was in.
that's great.
Yeah, and I forget what movie it was. It's like 10 years ago. And all of a sudden I was doing this and vibrating. And I'm like, I don't
What the
want that
hell?
while I'm watching a movie. Like, I just want to watch the movie. I don't need like, I don't need that experience. It's distracting to me. It's distracting to me. I only speak for myself, of course, but I think it's really cool that you're like, no, man, I'm going all in, man. I want to feel the whole thing. I think that's awesome. I think it's amazing. But for me, I just want old school, maybe, recliner seats, something like that. That's about it. Maybe I'll go to the VIP. Of course, it can't be IMAX because I don't think there's any VIPs that are IMAX, but I was thinking maybe go to the VIP, have somebody serve me a drink, sit back, sit there, sip. Yeah. But no, I mean, I got to see it in IMAX first. I can't see it on a smaller screen. I got to see it on the biggest screen possible first.
I am curious. I'll try to remember to let you know how it is. I'm curious though how the D box works with 3D. I'm curious if that's going to be a weird kind of, you know what I mean? A weird sensory overload kind of thing.
That's a good question. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question.
This could be the biggest mistake of my life.
The glasses are falling off. I just don't want to be when I'm watching a movie.
Did you ever get to do did you ever get to do T2 3D when it was at Universal?
Yes, years ago. Like, I mean, this would have been like the 90s.
Yes, it came out in 96 is when it premiered.
And I did it in 96. Yes, I did. Because I remember the motorbike coming towards the screen, and then it's almost like he comes through the screen. Or something like that or whatever. I remember that. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's still to this day, that's I think the most unique thing Cameron has ever done because he co-directed that film.
Yes.
So that's everybody loves to say T2 is his last time directing Terminator, and I always want to put that little asterisk.
Yes.
That's
a good point. And they got the band back together again. So that was really cool. Yeah, that's a very good. That's a good point. That'd be a great trivia. What was the last, because it's not really a movie, is it? But what was the last Terminator thing that James Cameron directed? That's a great trivia.
Yep.
Bet you a lot of people would get it wrong.
So before we wrap up here, every new guest on the podcast gets the same question. And even though we've done stuff before, this is your first time here.
Yep.
You only get one. What is your all-time favorite Cameron film?
My all-time favorite Cameron film.
Yep. All others disappear. This is the only one left. And you can't give me the cheating one, T1, T2. People like to sneak that in there.
No, I actually wouldn't pick any of the, and I love the Terminator movies. I mean, who doesn't love the Terminator movies? They're amazing. I don't think I'd pick the Terminator movies though. I think for me, and maybe it's just because where I am in my life. And, I think it might be a toss up, and I love True Lies. Oh, it's so fun. But I think it might be a toss up between the first Avatar and The Abyss. And the reason I say that, ask me again in a week and I might change my mind. But the reason I say, and I know I only have to pick one, but the reason I say that is because of, again, just the experience of seeing that first Avatar. I just was like, I said at the top of the show, I'm like, it was such a it made me realize that the industry's changing. Like it was just unbelievable. And with The Abyss, I just love how mature it is. It's an alien movie for those that don't know, but it's mature and cerebral, and how it's done, and the performances. I mean, Ed Harris, oh my God, he's electric, and it's just so it's a toss up between those two. And
today, because I know you said,
well, you know what?
Astro Week.
I'm gonna say the first Avatar right now, just because we're talking about it. I'm in it. We're talking about it right now. I'm gonna say the first Avatar, just because I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling it right now.
Incredible.
But I know. I mean, Aliens. T2, T1, Titanic. I mean, I love Titanic.
I was gonna say, because I noticed a very severe lack of Titanic mention from you during this conversation.
No, I actually really love Titanic, and I do. I think it's a great movie, and that's another example of a classical story that was told to bring in as much of a universal audience as possible, so they could ground the world and then deliver the goods at the end. It's a star-crossed lovers, story. It's Romeo and Juliet on a boat, as a lot of people say. And that's exactly what it is. And people mention that, people reference that, they observed that, but I don't look, I was 18 when the movie came out. I remember it very well. I don't recall anybody going, "No, it's fucking Romeo and Juliet on a boat." I don't remember anybody saying that. We were like, yeah, fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's just Titanic. Nobody was saying that. But now the internet, you've let all the kids out of the bag now, and everybody's like, and so, but no, look, I mean, it would be the Abyss. That's, ask me again tomorrow and I might change my mind. But just because we're in Avatar mode right now, I might go watch it after this. I don't know. But I'm in Avatar mode right now. So I think just at this moment right now, this very second, I'm picking the first Avatar for all the reasons I said.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, everybody. I will say, having done a bunch, I mean, I'm probably up to 80 episodes of this.
Amazing.
Having talked to cast, crew, fans, everybody, and I ask them the exact same question. Give me your favorite Cameron film.
Yep.
Avatar is not mentioned quite a lot. I'll tell you.
No. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. And I would be shocked if it was.
There we go. So if you like what you see, everybody, obviously links down below. Give them a check out. Seriously, this was a big honor to have you on this podcast, because I don't know if I've told you this, but I think, well, not that I think, you are one of my favorite film thinkers. The way you're able to articulate how you feel about film and just the ideas you have in your head.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've stuck around. So
yeah, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So it's always fun to be able to get you on for
sure. No, I always have a blast. It's awesome.
So, all right, everybody, we're gonna get out of here. Go check out Fire and Ash. It's out now. Let's get it past $2 billion.
Yep.
And
3 billion, baby.
Thank you, and go watch Avatar.